Hi, welcome back to Ciders at Derek's. I'm Mike.
And I'm a lumberjack, and I'm okay.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He doesn't know the rest of the lines to the song.
I sleep all night and I work all day. I don't know all the words.
I chop down trees, skip and jump. Okay, no, I'm...
Yeah, we don't want to get this video blocked.
Right. Oh, well, yeah, right. Copyrighted music, fuckers. What's your problem? Son of a bitch. How dare you have fun?
God forbid we have another video we don't make 8 cents on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it'll drive us to financial ruin. Anyway, yeah, so professional wrestling took another fucking body blow this week.
Yeah, big
Jesus
one.
Christ.
This was a tough one. This was tougher than Dusty.
Yeah, well, God, Roddy Piper. Where the fuck do you start?
Possibly the greatest heel of all times.
Possibly the greatest worker of all time. Let's be perfectly honest. The guy was a brilliant heel. He knew how to work a crowd. For being a relatively small guy, was, I would say, the most powerful feud with Hulk Hogan fucking ever. I mean, and that's barring Hogan's feuds with Ric Flair and King Kong Bundy and all the monsters that they fucking threw at him.
Mm-hmm.
Piper was the guy that really brought the best out of Hulk Hogan. Because he really knew how to push the buttons on a crowd. And despite being, again, relatively smaller guy, he could get in there and be credible with Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately, Hogan did not pin him for many, many decades. I think they finally gave Hogan a pinfall over him in like the late 90s or early 2000s. I don't remember exactly what the event was, but just brilliant. I mean, you could sit here and just talk about the things that fucking Roddy Piper did all day long.
I love Piper,
and he was fun. He was self-deprecating. He never seemed to take himself, too seriously, and he, seemed to be willing to give, especially if the guy he was working with was, willing to give in addition. Happy to put over younger guys, no matter how much younger guys, bitched and complained that he wouldn't. He always seemed to be very much interested in moving the business forward and putting himself just slightly in the backseat. I mean, he would definitely be, concerned with his own career, but if he could find a way to get everything over all at once, he really seemed to be the guy that would do that. And especially sad because he was having a real career resurgence. Mm-hmm. The last few years. I mean, super popular podcast on Podcast One. He was doing a bunch of different events. I know he was going to be in a movie called Wrestlers vs. Zombies.
That would have been sweet.
Yeah. So
I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass.
And I'm all out of gum. Just, brilliant. No, you could sit here and just talk about his great one-liners all day long. And much like Dusty Rhodes, great talker, brilliant on the mic, would just come up with some amazing shit right off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
God, you just can't say enough. I mean, it's probably the first wrestler death that I heard about, and I was just stunned to silence for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Once I knew it was real. I mean, it's because you told me over the phone that he had died, and I was like, wait.
Where did you hear
Google it first. Yeah, where did you hear it? Facebook. You Google that first. Let's make absolutely certain.
Yeah,
because
we were in the
Facebook's
process of doing
full
that.
of a lot of trolley bullshit. But yeah, he really did die of a heart attack in his sleep the other day
at age 61.
And I mean, 61's a pretty respectable age. But yeah, and God, he's just Great feuds, brilliant stuff. Back in the day, he feuded with the entire Guerrero family and just did some brilliant shit. He once showed up at the event riding a burro with a T-shirt that read "Conquistador of the Guerreros," and was just being a complete just racist ass, and the crowd wanted to kill him. He was legitimately stabbed by fans a couple of times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
back in the 70s. People didn't fuck around in wrestling. The fans thought that shit was real,
Well,
and they got legitimately mad. And if you hit that level of white heat, fuckers would try to kill you because you were screwing with their good guys. I mean, being a heel in the 70s was like a 24/7 job, and you had to be legitimately afraid for your safety. And one of those stabbings he took for another guy that someone was trying to stab, and he stepped in front of the guy and took the knife for him, for his buddy. So, I mean...
And that's the thing, as bad of a guy as Piper often played, he actually in real life ended up being a hero more than just once.
Oh, he was. No, when you heard him talking about shit that wasn't kayfabe, he was a family man. I mean, he loved his wife and loved his kids, and it legitimately stopped wrestling the first time because he didn't want to be hobbling around as a cripple because he wanted to play with his kids. It just... Such a great guy in so many aspects. I mean, it's well documented that, he had his demons, he had his problems. But, at his core, I really feel that he was just a legitimately decent guy. And the entertainment world is going to be so much poorer without him.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Piper mostly from the 80s when he was... If Hulk Hogan and his crew were G.I. Joe, Roddy Piper was Cobra Commander.
Right. and that Bob Orton, Cowboy Bob Orton, was his Destro.
Yeah.
With that fucking cast that didn't come off for like 3 years.
Yep.
Oh, it's just aggravating the injury, and meanwhile he's sneaking guys and fucking bashing them with the thing, and oh god.
No, I love that. That was the era of wrestling
brilliant heel work.
I love that. And then of course They Live, where he had the world's longest fight scene ever recorded into a film.
Yeah. First time you saw that, you're like, dear God, when are these guys
still
gonna
fighting?
fucking stop? What the
Man,
hell?
they must have needed some filler.
I mean, it was well choreographed. It was a nice fight, but yeah, it got to the point where like these are the toughest men on earth.
It was great. I love that film in general.
Hell Comes to Frogtown. I don't know if you've seen that recently, but Hell Comes to Frogtown is a post-apocalyptic film. And Roddy Piper is playing a character named Sam Hell. And most men on the planet have been wiped out, and most of the ones that are left are infertile. Except for Sam Hell, and his job is to impregnate women. It's cheesy, and it's delightfully awful. It really is.
I don't think I've ever seen it. But
I think I have a copy. We should watch it. It's so bad it's funny.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love those movies.
Oh yeah, no, it's hard to describe, really. It's at that Flash Gordon level of bad but awesome.
Cool.
So yeah, it just it's too bad. It's terrible losing the guy because he was so entertaining and such a sweetheart, and we're all gonna miss him. I would have put together a video package, to memorialize him, but we all know how WWE gets about that shit. So instead of that, I guess we'll just have to verbally express how we feel about the whole thing. So rest in peace, Roddy Piper. Baby Jesus. No, he said that all the time. every third phrase out of his mouth lately was just, oh baby Jesus. Did you see him on Legends House?
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes with you.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, it was it was an
was
interesting show. We didn't finish it for some reason. Just
Oh,
ran
you
out of
didn't.
time. Well, I
did.
I didn't finish it for some reason. I think I just ran out of time.
I did.
We just been
him
so
and
busy
Jim
with
Duggan
everything
ended
else.
up just being the bosom buddies characters. It was
Yeah.
fucking, they not like bosom buddies, a TV show. They weren't wearing dresses or anything, but it was just they palled around. They were buddies.
That's another wrestler I love.
They cheated at the dating game.
Who I'm gonna hate to see go is Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah. And another guy who fought a lot of bad illness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could tell both of them had been sick at some point in the recent history.
Duggan had cancer quite a few years ago, and so was Piper.
Piper had.
And he had like an intestinal issue for a lot of years. Because I want to say it was like pay-per-views in the late 90s. If you see him, he had this really big gut. But it wasn't fat. It was bloating from whatever illness that he had. But motherfuckers were making fun of him in promos and shit. But it was actually an illness. It's not like he got lazy and let himself go.
Yeah.
He was sick. But anyway, we should wrap this up and move on to something else.
So rest in peace, Roddy.
Yeah.
We'll miss you.
Yeah. One more member of the fucking Afterlife pay-per-view roster.
Yeah.
And God, it's a hell of a card at this point.
Yeah.
So, what do we got next?
Well, Windows 10 got released on the 29th. You haven't gotten your copy yet.
Yeah, I haven't upgraded yet.
I just got mine this morning. Apparently there's some minor security issues. I've kind of noticed some pop-ups have been coming up when I've been browsing on Google.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's part of it or what that is. But the memory optimization seems to be good. I was running
smoother?
Windows 7. At first I was worried because I tried running, the only thing I've tried playing on it so far is Terraria. And I tried playing it right after it got done installing. And I must not have finished installing everything properly because I tried playing it and it was like really choppy and glidey and everything.
Yeah.
So I rebooted the system, and since I rebooted the system, it's been running tip-top. I mean, much better than it was under Windows 7.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well,
with the exception of
and you do have an older computer, so I guess
I got a way older computer.
If it's gonna help improve that stuff. I've been kind of apprehensive about upgrading because I like Windows 7. I know there's some people that get bitchy about it, but to me it's always been a pretty stable platform.
They've been a lot less bitchy about that than they have been about the other operating systems that have been coming out. Windows 8 had a lot of problems when it first came out, mostly because people don't like the window screen version of it.
Yeah. Jen said it was really hard to deal with when she first got it.
But Vista, on the other hand, was just complete and utter shit.
Yeah.
XP and 7 seems to be
I really liked XP and I've really liked 7, so I'm kind of apprehensive to get away from 7 because I like this operating system. I mean, this is probably the operating system I've liked most since 98 SE. And I think I like when was it XP that came out right after 98?
No, it was 2000. It was Windows 98, then Windows 2000, which was kind of like the Windows and NT.
Yeah, no,
combined.
I think I went from 98 second edition into XP, and I actually despised XP when I first got it, and a lot of that was aesthetic issues because I had been, used to the look of
it was
of 98, and when you went to XP, it looked like some fucker dumped a box of Mike and Ike's on the screen.
But it wasn't as bad as Vista. Vista was all really bubbly when it first came out.
Oh, well, bubbly, bright, ugly colors
and
that
on
hurt
top
your
of
eyes.
It had memory leaks like crazy.
Yeah, the happiest thing I found in XP was the thing that would convert it back to looking like 98. And that's how I ran my XP the whole time because I didn't like the look.
Well, XP
I didn't like
also got
the
rid of a lot
aesthetics.
of like the icons and moved them all to your start bar. So,
yeah, it was initially difficult to navigate.
but you could change it to classic mode, and
Yeah.
that would allow you to
Right.
to have all your icons.
So I don't know. I think I'll wait a couple more days to see if you really complain about it, and then maybe
Yeah, and I'll let you
upgrade.
come up and hammer around on it too.
All right.
So.
Because
But yeah, so far I like
my
it.
laptop runs really well. Because I've got a i7 processor, so I've never had the issues of running things on Windows 7 that you have.
Yeah.
So if Windows 10 has really improved the way your system runs, maybe I should get on top of that, because mine should run it brilliantly.
That's provided all these pop-ups don't screw it up.
Well, yeah.
'Cause God only knows what's coming with them.
Yeah, true. And you told me earlier today that Windows 10 is supposed to be the last version of Windows ever.
Yeah, though I think one of the things that they're planning on doing is doing what iOS has done, and that's do like mini updates to it. And I think instead of having mega transactions, I think they're looking at the microtransaction aspect of selling apps and stuff instead.
Oh, okay, like free to play games.
Yeah.
Where you get the basic system of it and everything's completely functional, but you got to pay for the little add-ons and apps and shit.
Mm-hmm. So
We'll
see what that does.
I can see that. As long as it stays stable, that I guess that's kind of my worry. And I worry about the possibility of this not actually being the last version of Windows, because operating systems have, generally been a bit of coin in the pocket of Microsoft, over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, Microsoft has told us about stuff before that was supposed to be the very last of it, and it's just going to be infinitely upgradable. Remember the Xbox?
Yeah.
Remember the original Xbox? They were like, this is the gaming console that's going to change the world. It's completely upgradable, and you can just put other stuff on it, and we can, and you'll never have to buy another console again in your life, because this is going to be the fucking thing. And that was 2 generations ago. 3? Yeah, so, okay, but I don't necessarily believe what Microsoft says.
Well, I guess 2. Xbox 360, and the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hopefully.
We'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
And then Tom Holland has finished shooting his Civil War shots. His shots for Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
His scenes.
Okay.
So he shot all of his stuff for Civil War now. Which means he's probably only going to be in about that much. But at least we know for sure we will be seeing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it's 100% confirmed now that Civil War will be the film that he was in, that he'll be in. It's still kind of like, well, maybe not.
Yeah. Well, because actually the thing that Spider-Man's going to be doing, he's just going to be photobombing Captain America.
Yeah, that would actually work really well.
He's just going to run down on a fucking web line off of a building and get behind Captain America's head and just start humping it.
Actually, it'd be funny.
And then just back up the line.
Is if they could work with Fox and get Deadpool to do that.
That would be great.
Just for like a scene. That would be hilarious.
Right. Just making hand gestures, making fun of the guy.
Yeah. You just see him in the background. But that's never going to happen because
Right. No.
Marvel and Fox aren't getting along right now.
No.
Because Marvel's doing everything they can to ruin Fox's film franchises.
Yeah. Well, they want their shit back.
Yeah.
They want their fucking toys back, man.
I want them
Unfortunately,
to have their toys back. I would love to see X-Men toys again.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for stopping by. We hope to see you again later, and we should be posting some reaction videos for the next couple of days. So, good to see you again, and we'll see you next week. We're out.
Doodles.